Praise God. Hallelujah. Somebody said in Canada, many are cold and few are frozen. Praise God. Not many are cold and few are chosen, but many are cold and few are frozen. It's a joy for me to be here once again. I'm excited. But wow, this auditorium is different. Praise God. Hallelujah. In just 1 year, I put your hands together. This worthy of celebration. I'm so excited. When I came in here, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And I'm excited to see what God is doing in your life. You know, in God, there is no diminishing returns. It gets better and better. Because the path of the just is like a shining light, and it gets better and better and better and better until we get to the perfect day. And I'm excited that, one of the things I'd love to say is that I don't like meeting people the same way. That's not very good. I like it that when I meet you, the next time I meet you, you are better, and the next time I meet you, you are better, and the next time I meet you, you are better. And I'm excited to see that is happening in what God is doing here, and it gets better and better and better in the name of Jesus. You know what the Bible says, the path of the just like shining light that gets better and better? You will have thought you should have just said, the path of the just like shining light that shineth best. But best is an end, and there is no end in God. So after you've seen better, then it gets better. Then after you've seen better, then it gets better and better and better. And I'm excited to see all the men of God here. Praise God. When I look at them, I'm encouraged. Amen. Amen. So if you are not anointed to preach with all this combined anointing, anything can happen. Praise God. Amen. All right. Today, I just want to talk to you. Can I talk to you? Is it okay? I want to talk to you. One of the things I've had over and over from Pastor Fola is his vision for men to scale walls, to scale walls. And today I want to talk about preserving strength for scaling walls. And it's not going to be like me preaching, it's going to be like me talking to you. I've been around a little bit. I'm a very young man, praise God. If you look at my head, you will see I have no gray hair. Have you noticed that? Yeah, it's a miracle, praise God. All right, so but in the little time I've been around, I've discovered that it's very important for you and I to know that it takes strength to scale walls. To start with, the Bible says in Proverbs 18:29, he said, by thee I run through a troop, and by God I've leaped over a wall. Glory to God. He said, by God I scale walls. Hallelujah. That's the plan of God for us. One of the things I've discovered is almost everything that is worth doing, there is a wall around it. Hello. Did you notice the children of Israel, like when they were going to the promised land, and when they got that, the Bible said there was a wall, a mighty wall around it. I've discovered, I was telling them in a church not too long ago, the Bible said in Mark chapter 2 verse 1 that Jesus entered into Capernaum, and immediately everywhere was filled, and there was no room, not even near the door. And I told them, I said, it looks to me as if everything worth doing at all, you will just discover that it seems as if there is no room, there is a wall around it. You want to be an accountant in Nigeria, I can tell you there is a wall, no room. You want to be a lawyer, law school says no room. You want to marry Nkechi, bride price says no room. Anybody getting what I'm talking about? So there seems to be a wall against everything and almost everything anybody wants to do in life. And that is why his Bible says, I run through a troop. It does not matter how many they are. I say, I run through them, and by God I leaped over a wall. But verse 32 of that Psalm 18 now told us how that is possible. He said, it is God that guided me with strength and maketh my way perfect. He said, maketh my feet like the hand's feet, and I set me upon my high places. He said, he teacheth my hands to war, the bow of steel is broken by my hand. So what is he trying to say? Verse 32 said, the key to scaling walls is strength. He said, the Lord God that guided me with strength. I've discovered in life that almost everything you need to do, you need strength. You need strength. To marry, you need strength. To make your marriage work, you need strength. Is anybody getting what I'm saying? A man went to carry his wife and started dancing. The wife was happy. The wife was elated. The wife said, are you drunk? The guy said, I'm not drunk. I'm coming from church. You're coming from church and you carry me. You're dancing. The pastor preach about romance. The man said, no, but pastor said we should go and carry our burdens with joy. So your marriage that's meant to be a blessing can become a burden if you don't have the strength to make it work. And I discovered that when you have children also to make, to be a father over your children, to be a mother over your children, you need strength. I started pastoring quite early, and I discovered that to pastor a growing church takes strength. And you see, you will think that the higher you go, the lower it becomes. They lied to us in theology class. They said the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. No, the higher you go, the hotter it becomes. The bigger your head, the bigger the headache. It takes strength to run a good church. And then when we started planting churches all over the place, in the city of Ibadan, we have about 5. It takes strength to do that kind of thing. It takes strength to publish books. I've published quite some of them. It takes strength to be on the media. It takes strength to generate. Like Pastor was telling you, on this trip alone, I've been around like 3 other continents. In just about 2-3 weeks before I got here, I had my branch in Dubai. I preached there on a Friday. They don't do Sunday in Dubai, they do Friday. Then the Sunday, I preached in Birmingham. Then I came to US, did some meetings. Then I'm here, I'm Milton. Then I'm here now. It takes strength to do such things. I remember there was a time, sometimes this year, that was July or so. I flew into Dubai on a Thursday. I preached there on Friday. Then Saturday, flew into Birmingham. They picked me by road, took me to Leicester. I preached in Leicester Sunday morning. Monday by train to London, preached in London Monday night. Tuesday by train to Liverpool, preached in Liverpool Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday by road to Manchester, preached in Manchester on Thursday, Friday, Saturday by train to Milton Keynes, preached there Saturday night, Sunday morning, preached in London. By the time I woke up Sunday morning, my body was asking my brain, where did you wake up to? I guess my brain said, I don't know. You ask yourself, don't kill me. It takes strength to do all that. And that is why most of the time, if you're going to go far, it takes strength. Look at what the Bible says in the book of Proverbs 22:29. He said, the glory of young men is their strength. That is it. And he said, but the strength of old men is their gray hair. In Proverbs 24 verse 5, he said, a wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases in strength. So if there's anything you need to increase in as a man of knowledge, it's not even money you need, it's strength you need. Because I've seen rich men that are sick in the hospital and the money don't buy them strength. He said, a man of knowledge must find a way to increase in strength. In Proverbs 24 verse 10, Solomon the wise said in Proverbs 24:10, he said, if you faint in the day of adversity, it's your strength that is small. Oh, I love the way Message translation put it. He said, if you fall to pieces in a crisis, it means you aren't much to start with in the first place. You aren't much. I love the way the Living Bible translation put it. He said, that means you're a poor specimen. So he said, if you faint in the day of adversity, it is your strength. It's not the adversity that is big. It's your strength that is small. One young man, the minister in my city, came to see me some time ago, and he was looking so distressed. I said, what's his problem? He said he has a bill of 200,000 to pay by the end of that week, and he does not know where to get it, and he has not been able to sleep. He's so disturbed, and And while he was talking, I was smiling. He said, I'm telling you my problem, and you are smiling. I said, yeah, I'm smiling because you need 200,000 by the end of this week. I need 2 million before the day is over, and I don't know where to get it. He said, and you are smiling like this. I said, yes, if you see Geo today, maybe we need 200 million. The bigger the head, the bigger the headache. It takes strength. He said, if you faint the day of adversity, it's your strength that is small. That is why Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 17, he said, blessed are you, Ecclesiastes 10:17, O land, when your king is a son of nobles, and your princes feast in the proper time for strength and not for drunkenness. I'll be talking a bit about that tomorrow. So the purpose of our eating is not to be drunken, it's to gather strength. It's to gather strength. One of my new books, 7 things champions do before breakfast, came out of this scripture. Because all of a sudden the Bible is trying to say that we should not eat breakfast. Is that what the Bible is saying? I was wondering. He said, woe to your land when your king eats in the morning. He said that in verse 16. And I said, does that mean we should not eat breakfast? Then in verse 17 he said, no, I'm not saying don't eat breakfast. I'm saying don't eat it for drunkenness, eat it for strength. Because strength is important. I want to show you very quickly one of the most scary scriptures for me in the Bible. It's Isaiah 37 verse 3. Don't mind me today. I want to use scripture to talk to you. I'm going somewhere. So we're going to go through a lot of scripture. So get ready. In Isaiah 37 verse 3, they said to him, thus says Hezekiah, this is a day of trouble, 1, a day of rebuke, 2, a day of blasphemy, 3. Why? He said, for the children have come to the place of birth, but there is no strength to bring them forth. That is a very scary thing. They've come to birth their dream, they want to birth their vision. They want to birth a marriage, they want to birth a family, they want to birth a church, they want to birth a business, they want to birth something great, something mighty, a career, they want to birth something very powerful, a business. He said, but there is no strength to bring forth. One of the things that could be very scary is when a woman is pregnant and is EDD and she has no strength to push. So it makes you to realize that strength is needed for everything. When you have a great vision, you know it's time to deliver it, but there is no woman's strength, there is no financial strength for you to bring it forth. Strength is needed in everything. I remember 4 years ago, I was in Bayelsa, Nigeria, when the Lord spoke to me and said, go build me a cathedral. I pretended as if I didn't hear. Have you tried that with God before? Like speaking to you and you pretended as if you didn't hear. And God said it to me again and I still pretended. And God said, you are not please ask me. I said, build a cathedral. I mean, God, if you are God, you should know that there is no money in any of our account. And to build a cathedral that you are talking about, we take about ₦1 million. And God said, well, just go build it. And that was 4 years ago and we have built it now. I was stupid. I thought 100 million we do it. We have spent about 500 million naira now and it's still not done. That is well beyond $1 million in a country without mortgage. But you see, when God speaks, He gives strength. And it takes strength to do some of those things. It takes strength to build. It takes strength to get some things done. But one of the greatest things, one of the saddest things, is when God gives us strength, but we waste it. We waste it. In Isaiah 49 verse 4, Isaiah was lamenting. I call this the lamentation of Isaiah. He said, then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught. And in vain, yet surely my judgment is with the Lord. So he said, look, I have strength, but I wasted it. And the God's word translation put it like this: I have worked hard for nothing. It's possible. Message translation said, have worked for nothing, have nothing to show for a life of hard work. That should be scary. Because that is why I said, I think it was last year here in this same conference, there is one thing for you to work hard, but it's a better thing for you to work smart. Because work smart is better than working hard. He said, I've worked hard, I've done my best, but notwithstanding, I have nothing to show for it. I'm saying all this because I'm going somewhere. And this is where I'm going. Proverbs 31. You know, many a times for several years, when you hear Proverbs 31, you just think about a woman. Is that not so? Proverbs 31, woman. No, Proverbs 31. So we pastors, especially we male pastors, we use it to attack women. This is what you should be like. A Proverbs 31 woman, we wake up early. A Proverbs 31 woman. But one day God told me to go and study that. I was preparing for Father's Day. And God said, go and read Proverbs 31. I said, God, maybe you don't live in our generation. It's Father's Day, not Mother's Day. God said Proverbs 31, but God, it's Father's Day. Then I went to read it. I was shocked. Proverbs 31 verse 1, he said the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. So from the beginning I saw that it was written by a man to men. Proverbs 31 was not written primarily for women. No! He said there are a few things I got from Proverbs 31. Number one, he said this one, no, it is King Lemuel that got it, but it was his mother that taught him. One of the things I discovered, number one, is the fact that you might not have a mother that teach you, but if you know somebody that has a mother that teach them, you can still get wisdom. That is why I love to say to people that when they said somebody, oh, glory to God, hallelujah. You know, many a times we look at people and say, well, it's not my fault. I didn't have anybody to teach me. No, the Bible said wisdom is walking the streets. My mom used to say it is where somebody without a mother, that has a mother is learning. That is where the one that does not have is also learning. You've got to learn. Is anybody getting what I'm saying? That is why the word ignorance does not mean you didn't get. It means you choose to ignore. Ignorance is a product of consistent ignoring. So he said, my mom didn't teach me, but his own mom taught him. But I also saw another thing that everybody needs to get. He said this is the prophecy that his mother taught him. Which means as us, as pastors, as parents, we should learn to teach prophecy. Not just say prophecy. Not just declare prophecy. As a pastor over a church, I made that mistake when I started pastoring. God will give us a word, and I will just come and say, well, thus said the Lord. You are just being stupid, because when they had it, they forget it. Prophecy could be taught and should be taught and must be taught. In fact, God said to the children of Israel, he said, turn this prophecy to a song. Sing it. So prophecy can be sung. So he said his mother taught him this prophecy. Look at the next verse. Look at the next verse. He said, oh, what my son, and what the son of my womb, what the son of my vows. And he discovered that this woman was so smart that when he had the son, he made a vow over that son. And every parent, you need to do that. You know, in this generation, we have a problem with men everywhere. In England, in US, everywhere. I don't know if you have noticed, there is a big problem. The men are not measuring up to the ladies. I'm telling you, a general, worldwide, global phenomenon. Ladies are getting the best prize in school, in Harvard, in MIT, having the best of jobs. And you know the problem we have right now, including Nigeria, is that we have all these very exciting ladies that have done very well and nobody to marry them. One of my proteges in New Jersey is a medical doctor. So he said he has a patient, a very wonderful young lady, but the girl, you know, is a lesbian. So one day he said to her, I said, look, I'm not meant to ask you this question professionally, but I've just been bothered for a long time. I mean, what led to you being a lesbian? The guy said, well, I got graduated from school, I looked around, waited. All the guys just want my money and my body. The one responsible, I said, let me give it to another lady that made you up to my standard. A lady in Kenya said one day they went out to eating and they were talking about their business and how God had blessed them. And after a while, one elderly woman walked up to them and the woman said, how you ladies doing? He said, fine. Say, I'm so sorry, I can't help but overhear what you have been saying. And I'm excited about you ladies. But none of you is talking about marriage. Are you people not married? And one of them answered her and said, Mama, did you raise us husbands? Because especially in Africa, our mama raised ladies from the day they were born to be the wife of a good man. Don't do that. One day you go to your husband's house. You got to learn to cook. One day you go to your husband's house. But they didn't prepare the men for that kind of a woman. It's a major problem. But this woman said, I made a vow over you. You are going to be different. And let me tell you a little bit about Lemuel. Lemuel was a king. So the mother was a queen. So she had lived in a king's house and saw several boys mess their life. So he was teaching prophecy to his son. Now, Solomon does have a mother to teach him, but he was learning. Give me the next verse now. I love this. He now said, give not your strength unto women. Now, he started telling the boy the things that destroy strength. Is anybody getting what I'm saying? Started telling the boy, he said, look, all the things you want, like you remember I told you, everything you want to do in life takes strength. To get married right, it takes strength. To do well in life, it takes strength. There is nothing you want to do, you need strength to do it. But it's now saying, but you see, you can give your strength. And he mentioned three things that destroy strength. Number one, he mentioned women. Then look at what he says. Say, give not your strength to women, not the ways that which destroyed kings. Several kings that should be scaling walls. Several men that should be doing great and mighty things. They can't do it right now. Why? Because their strength has been given. Look at the next verse. He mentioned something else. He said, it is not for kings, O Lemuel. It's not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. So, next verse. They said, let them drink and forget the way, the law, and pervert the judgment of the afflicted. So he's mentioning the third thing. And later I'm going to mention the three things. That's where I'm going. The three things that destroy strength of men, that makes them not to be able to scale walls. Number one, wine. Number one, woman. Number three, wrong judgment. But you see, the three of them are interwoven. Where you see wine, where you see woman, you will see wrong judgment. Because it's a company issue. The company you keep affects everything. Look at the next verse. He said, give strong drink to him that is ready to perish. This is a mom telling the boy, say, you're going to be a king. Our kind don't do this. Our kind don't drink. We don't take strong wine. We don't. He said, you give it to him that have heavy hearts. Look at the next verse. He said, let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his ministry no more. Look at verse 8. Verse 8. Open your mouth for the dumb in the poor and all that and destruction. Look at verse 9. Open your mouth to judge righteously and plead the cause of the poor and the needy. So verse 10, he now started telling the boy, one of the things that will help your life, not to give in to wine, your strength, not to be destroyed by a woman, is to get a virtuous woman. But women now pick that scripture and give it to the woman. Oh, did anybody get what I'm saying? But that's not what he was talking. He was not telling the boy, so my son, this is how to get it right. Get a virtuous woman. This is now what a virtuous woman looks like. Did you get that? So it should be Proverbs 31 man, not Proverbs 31 woman. Because that's what it's all about. It's about telling men what to do and how to lose their strength. Let me talk very quickly, because like we did last year, I want a time of question and answer and interaction. So I want to make sure I do this in like 40 minutes, so we have 20 minutes of interaction. So the first thing he mentioned is wine. He said, don't drink. And I know we live in an age now that it looks fashionable to take a bottle of beer once in a while. And maybe you've not had anybody tell you before that it's not biblical. And we need to go there. Can I shake some tables this night? Hello, can I talk to you? He said, look, man, you don't do this. I remember a guy said one day he was flying. And he was in first class. And if you're in first class, they try to spoil you. The first thing they do is to bring you a cup of champagne and a cup of hot drink, and they brought it to him. And the guy said, sorry, I'm okay. And they said, no, sir, it's complimentary. He said, no, I just don't want. Then after a while, another one came and said, excuse me, sir, there's a bottle of hot drink for you. He said, no, I don't want. But sir, it's complimentary. He said, no, I don't take it. They said, but why? So by the third time the guy was fed up, he said, okay, I'm going to take it on one condition. Go and give your pilot. Oh, they said pilot can't drink, he's on duty. Then he said, I'm also a Christian, I'm always on duty. I'm always on duty. I'm always on duty. In Proverbs 20 verse 1, he said wine is a mocker. Proverbs 21. When people start to drink wine, it becomes a mockery to them. He says strong drink is rage, and whosoever is deceived by it is not wise. Now, I've had people say to me, well, Reverend, it's drunkenness that is bad. Drinking a little is not bad. I said the problem with addiction is that you know when to start, you never know where to stop. I was counseling somebody yesterday about adultery. He said, Reverend, you've never had an adultery? I said, never. I've never. He said, how did you do it? I said, well, I don't bother them myself with sleeping with women. I make up my mind I won't do the first one. You see, it's that first one that will save you. So it is when you start to take the first bottle that you're entering into trouble. Is anybody getting what I'm saying? In Proverbs 21 verse 17, he said, if you love pleasure, you'll be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil can't be rich. And if you think that is bad, because it leads to addiction, literally. Look at Proverbs 23 from verse 29. It makes it worse. Now, Proverbs 23 from verse 29, he said, who hath woe, who hath sorrow, who hath contention, who hath babbling, who hath wounds without cause, who hath redness of eyes, they that tarry long at wine, them that seek strong mixed wine, look not unto the wine when it is red, he giveth his color in the cup, it looks good in the cup when he move itself right, but at the last time he's going to bite you like a serpent and sting you like an adder. Your eyes will behold strange women. When you are drunk, everybody looks beautiful. Come on now. Don't leave me all by myself. You've done that before. I've seen people sleep with a lady, they wake up, they see her in the morning, they plead the blood of Jesus. But that night when you are drunk, your reasoning is suspended. You know, some of you don't know how exciting Bible is. Some people didn't know things like this in the Bible. The Bible is the solution to the modern man. Absolutely. Don't think the Bible is an old book for old people. This is when you wake up, you see strange women, your heart will utter perverse things. When the man is drunk, he will promise you anything. Look, I'll buy you Lamborghini, I'll buy you my father is the president of Canada. He's forgotten Canada does not have president. But he's drunk. He said, you will lie down in the midst of the sea. You lie down upon the mast. He said, they beat me. I don't feel it. I was not sick. They beat me. I feel it. I mean, this why a drunk man does not feel pain. No. No matter what you do, they are okay. Somebody said, well, that's Old Testament. New Testament is not against it. Let me show you Romans chapter 13 from verse 12. Romans 13. Several places. Don't do it. I just kept on warning. He said, the night is fast spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. Let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in routing and drunkenness, or chambering, wantonness, not in strife and envy. Put on the Lord Jesus. In Galatians 5:19, when he was mentioning the works of the flesh, he mentions fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness. Verse 20, idolatry, witchcraft. See where those things drinking belong. It belongs with idolatry, with witchcraft, with hatred, with variance, with emulation, with wrath, with strife, with sedition, with heresy, with murder. In fact, drunkenness is between murder and revelings. Revelings means wild party. And you are happy, me, I'm not a witch, but you are in the same category with murderers. He said, look at now where it goes in verse 21, the last phrase. He said, people that do such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. I went visiting sometime, and this woman, wanted to entertain me and brought out all sorts of things, including very odd. There are odd drinks and very odd drinks. And I told her, So later on, when we were talking one-on-one, I said to her, just know the things you brought out there shouldn't be found in the house of a believer. He said, no, I don't drink it. I just use it to entertain. Then I showed her Habakkuk 2:15. Go there very quickly. Habakkuk 2:15. He said, woe unto you when you give your neighbor hot drink. That's what the Bible says. So woe unto you. Say, well, I don't drink it, but when people come for my party, I just want them to have a good time. No, you don't do that. Is that okay? Let me move to women. Somebody say, why did I come today? Oh, God brought you. Women, those are the things that destroy strength. In 1 Corinthians 6:13-14, this is Paul speaking. He said, food was made for the stomach and stomach for food. That's true. Though someday God will do away with both of them. But you can't say your body was made for sexual immorality. No, they were made for the Lord, and the Lord cares about our bodies. And God will raise up from the dead by his power. What I'm trying to show to you today, I'm not telling you don't. I'm telling you what the Bible says. Is that okay? So it's not me that says wine is bad, don't entertain and all that. It's what the word says. The same thing with adultery and all that. I was telling somebody some days ago, I said the problem with adultery is that the man commits his wife and feels shame. It's like divorce. The parents, they are the cause of it. I've counseled several children like that. The devil just mess up. Somebody has committed it. If you know what some of those things do, it's terrible. In 1 Corinthians 6:18-19, he said, run from sexual sin, flee fornication. We were somewhere, somebody said, what will you do if a lady starts to remove her dress in front of you? One of my brothers said, I will start biting the devil. I said, no, don't bite the devil, lose your leg. The Bible didn't say bind the devil, it said flee fornication. Run. That's what Joseph did. Because Joseph had a choice. He said, I keep my place, I'll lose my blessing. If I sleep with this woman, I'll keep my blazer. But if I don't sleep with her, she'll take my blazer, I'll keep my blessing. Let her take the blazer, my blessing will provide me another blazer. Come on now. Say, run from sexual sins. He said, there is no other sin that affects your body as this one does. For sexual immorality is a sin against your own body. Don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and is given you by God? You do not belong to yourself. Now, we pastors say, generally, all sins are the same. In some way it is right, in some way it is wrong. This is what Paul is saying. All sins are not the same. Sexual immorality is higher in the scheme of sins. Why? He says especially when you are born again. Because your body is a temple of God. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Somebody asked me sometime in my church, I do question and answers a lot like I'm going to do here in a few minutes. And somebody said, okay, Reverend, how do you... Can I tell you the truth? Hello, can I tell you the truth? I got saved as a teenager. I got married a virgin. I've been married now over 20 years. I've never slept with any other person but my wife. Somebody said, Reverend, not everybody is as strong as you. I say it's not like just strength. It's also wisdom. I'll explain it to you. The Bible said, give no room to the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Which means every flesh has lust. Is that not so? Jesus, the Bible said, was tempted just like we are. So even Jesus was tempted by Mary and Martha. But listen to this. Give no room to the flesh. Every flesh needs room to manifest sin. It is that room you should close. When me and my wife now, but then we were engaged, we were married, we used to pray and fast every Thursday. And when we are doing it, we open the door wherever we are and use something to block it. You understand? So that the devil won't close it. Because it takes close room for you to commit fornication. Have you discovered nobody had ever committed fornication in church? Have you discovered that? Have you met anybody like that before? Committing adultery in church? No. Because you don't do it. You see mad women in Africa that are pregnant. You don't know when they did it. Because even in madness, it takes secrecy. It's a room you block. I told people in my church, the day your kids and your wife don't have the password to your phone, it's the beginning of creating room to fall. Oh yeah. I can't browse pornography pages now because my son uses my phone a lot and my wife has my password. Oh, can I make it work? Some men are annoyed with me that I came this year. So I've always enjoyed this man, but this year. I tell people I was doing a meeting of over 40. I do on them just before and just after 40. So I was telling them, I said the truth of the matter is that at our age, it takes money to commit adultery. Don't deceive yourself, we are not that young any longer. If a girl says you are the sexiest thing I've ever seen, your pocket is talking about. So at my age, to commit adultery where I'll need to buy some gift. Is that not so? Book some hotel room. So making my wife an accessory to my finances is also protecting my destiny. Did anybody get that? Yes. In 1 Thessalonians 4:3-4, he said God's will is for you to be holy. 1 Thessalonians 4:3-4. God's will is for you to be holy so that you stay away from sexual sins. That each of you will control his own body. You can control your body and live in holiness and honor. Can I get a bit controversial? Somebody was telling me some days ago that, well, when people are gay, it's not their fault. Some of them don't want to. They just have a compulsion to do it. I said, no, that's not only gay. Even people that still don't want to steal. It's a compulsion. Every sin is a compulsion. And every sin can be rebuked. Don't be deceived that some people are born one way. If they are made like that by God, God, he said in the Bible, I didn't make them like that. Who do you listen to? One day, one lady was driving when cars just came in US, and the car developed a fault. And she sent, there was no phone in those days, so she sent one of the boys to go and call the only known mechanic they know. And one man came out of his house, the man in whose house the car spoiled, and said, can I help you? The woman said, no, don't touch my car. I'm waiting for my mechanic. The man said, okay, but what is the problem? No, you just don't worry. I'm waiting for my mechanic. So the man waited. Then the mechanic came, was struggling. The man was looking at them. Then the man told the mechanic, can I help? No, I'm a mechanic. The man was smiling. After a while, the mechanic said, I don't know what to do again. The man said, what I've been trying to tell you. This is a Ford car. My name is Mr. Ford. You're a mechanic, but you're not smarter than me. I made this car. God made our body. You can't be smarter than God. That's right. Hello? Sometimes I'm happy I live in Africa, not here. Because this place is going bonkers. Now boys say they are girls, girls says they are boys, white says they are black, black says they are white. Now man wants to be going to crèche, say inside of me I'm really a baby. Don't deny me of how I feel like a baby. Nonsense. Maybe that is why some of their wives call them baby. In 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9 to 11. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9 to 11. You know, when Obama made the law that anybody can use the toilet they feel like using, I told my kids we're going to America for vacation. So when you're going to the toilet, I'll stay by the door. So any boy comes now, I will blow him. Me and him will land in jail. 1 Corinthians 5, 9 to 11. He said, when I wrote to you before, I told you not to associate with people who indulge in sexual sin. He said, I wasn't talking about unbelievers. That's what I'm talking about. Because there are some people now that says, well, this time of grace, everything is covered. No. He said, I'm talking about believers that indulge in sexual sins. He said, or they are greedy, they kill people, they worship idols. You have to leave this world to avoid people like that. I mean, what you are not to associate with, say anyone who claims to be a believer, talking believer, comes to church, but yet is consistently indulging in sexual sin, or greedy, or worship idols, or abusive, or is a drunkard, or a 419. You know what a 419 is? Cheat people. Cheat people. That's what he's saying. So don't even eat with church people. Don't take them out to lunch. In Proverbs 6:32, Solomon the wise said, and he should know, because he had 1,000 women to himself, 700 wives, 300 concubines. That is 1,000 women, one man. If we do roster, that will be 3 women per day. Some won't get space. So he said, if you commit adultery, you lack sense. You are stupid. He who does it destroys himself. If Solomon tells you that, just believe. He experienced it. Oh, glory to God. 1 Corinthians 6:9. I'm a great preacher, but look at what he says in 1 Corinthians 6:9. He said, don't you know that wicked people who inherit the kingdom of God, stop deceiving yourself. People that continue to commit sexual sin, worship false gods, those who commit adultery, homosexuals. Am I reading the word? Yeah. This is not even my opinion. This is the word of God. Said they won't inherit the kingdom of God. So people that rob people. Number 3, let me round up. So number 1, why? Number 2, women. Number 3, wrong judgment. And he said wrong judgment is a product of the company you keep. You know in Mark chapter 2, 1 to 5, the Bible said Jesus Christ entered again to Capernaum. Mark chapter 2, 1. He entered again. I love the fact the Bible said he entered again. Because many times you need to understand that there are some things you have to do more than once to get result. You have to do more than once to get result. I tell people, faith does not come from having heard. Faith coming by hearing and hearing. Jesus lay hands on one guy, he was blind. Then Jesus Christ said, do you see now? The guy said, yes, I see men, but they look like trees. And Jesus was afraid, if they make this one a gardener, and give him a cutlass, he will have killed half of the job before he realized it is man. He's cutting, not trees. So Jesus lay hands on him again. So there are some things you've got to do again. I remember Les Brown went to look for a job. He entered the place. He said, excuse me, my name is Les Brown. I want to know if there's no vacancy. He said, okay, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. The guy said, are you stupid? I said, no vacancy. He said, yes, that's today now. I'll see you tomorrow. So the next day he said, good morning, my name is Les Brown. He said, no vacancy. Okay, we are not fighting. I'll see you tomorrow. Then the third day, good morning, my name is Les Brown. I told you no vacancy. It's okay, I'll see you tomorrow. By the 5th day as he's coming there, one mentioning his name. Les Brown, no vacancy. It's okay, I'll see you tomorrow. By the 7th day as he came in, the master guy said, well, Les Brown, go find the table and chair and start work. So what will I be doing? Anything. I'm tired. The Bible said in Galatians 6 that you will reap if you don't faint. Not because you started. You just finish as I get the job done. Again, he entered into Capernaum, and as he was there, in Mark chapter 2, the Bible said there was no room to enter. Then one man came. He was lame, he was late. If I was there, I would just tell the guy to go home. I mean, what are you looking for? Bible said there was no room, not even near the door. You are not only late, you are lame. You can't come in. But you know, surprisingly, he was the first one to get his miracle. Why? Because he was carried by four. Oh, glory to God. Many a times in life, you might not have strength, but you need people to carry you. A lot of people are carried by men. Oh, may God send you men to carry you.
Amen.
And this man was super. Because there is no room below. And they discovered there is no room below. There is always room at the top. I'm talking to somebody here. You've tried to struggle to end in at the lowest level. That's not where God wants you to enter from. That is why I wrote a devotional some days ago. I said rejection is redirection. Don't take rejection personal. It means God is redirecting you in another direction. So they said, well, there's no room beneath that, you'll be above. Then they went above. There was still no room. Then they broke the roof. May God give you relationships that will break roof for you. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. And the Bible said when Jesus saw their faith, many a times the reason why you've not gotten the result you are looking for is because it's not your faith. It must take their faith. Not his faith. He didn't see his faith. He saw their faith. Then he says, son, thy sins are forgiven you. Rise up and pick up your bed. So you need a company of people to help you. And you see, there are 4 people around him. I love to say those 4 people that carry him stand for 4 kinds of relationship. Number 1, the 2 legs of a mentor. Because a man without a mentor, we have mentors, we have so many tormentors. You need fathers so that you can go further. It's very important. You need mentors. Mentors are people that are walking the way, know the way, and can show you the way. Mentors know how to do it because they have done it. They are not talkers, they are not theoreticians, they are practical people. They've done it before. In whatever you do, I told my daughters as they go to university, I say, I'll confess to you, I'm brilliant, right? I wasn't a good student in university. I was more of a pastor than a student. Then my kids say, how come you didn't fail? I said, because it takes you to be stupid to fail in the university. They say, why? I said, because it's human beings that mark your script. And you know them, you interacted with them. So what I learned to do is that when I'm in the first year, I meet with people that are in the second year to tell me about those lecturers. Because English does not mean the same thing to say to the same people. To different people, means the same thing to different people. Some lecturer will say, write a short note. They want 3 sentences. Some will say, write a short note. They want 3 pages. So short note does not mean what you think it means. It means what they think it means. So you need to find out what they are thinking. And it takes people that have interacted with them to do that. That's mentoring. You need a mentor. In ministry, you need a mentor. There are some things I didn't need to go through because I follow people that have gone through it. Is anybody getting what I'm saying? He said, without any contradiction, Hebrews 7:7, the less is empowered to prosper by the greater. Oh, we have time to talk about mentoring. Number 2, you need the 2 legs of a good friend. Of a good friend. Without a good friend, life is meaningless. The Bible said, iron sharpeneth iron. So the countenance of a man will sharpen that of his friend. It's very important. Solomon said, don't neglect your father's friend in the day of trouble, or else you have to go several distance, or your own friend. You need say that once many friends must make himself friendly. And I love to say to people, it's called friend for a reason. Friend, because it determines your hand. The friend determines your hand. What kind of hand determines. The Bible says birds of the same feather flock together. I said they don't have the same feather before. When they start to flock, the feather will become the same. As a pastor, when somebody comes to me and says, I want to marry one handsome, tall, dark, and handsome and anointed dude called Moyo. Do you know him? I said, well, I might not know him, but who are the friends he works with? Because once I know his friends, I know him. Once I know his friends, I know him. You need the 2 legs of good friends. Then you need the 2 legs of good proteges. Yeah, because no matter how skillful you are as a football player, if you don't become a coach, you one day pay money to enter stadium. Because your relevance in the future is the relevance of the children you have coached. Very important. Keep on raising men. Have proteges of different color and different races all over the world that have poured into. Those guys, some of them are very crazy. There is no nation I get to and I don't have people struggling to pick me at the airport or do one thing or the other. How does that happen? I've invested into them. Some of them were boys in university whose tuition we pay, who we accommodate. Now they are big boys. One of them walked up to me one time. He said, Reverend, what's your plan for your family vacation? I know you do vacation every December. I said, well, this year we are not doing vacation. We are building cathedral and all my money is going there. The guy said, well, I want to sponsor your vacation this year. I said, give me the money. He said, I know if I give you the money, you put it into ministry. I said, absolutely. He said, I'm not giving you the money. I said, well, we are not doing vacation, so you better give me the money. He said, no. He said, sir, I don't want to be rude, but building cathedral is your business. Your family vacation is my business. Let everybody face his business. What makes my family vacation is business. He remembered. You need 2 legs of proteges, and finally you need the 2 legs of a good spouse. Oh, I can't overemphasize that enough. And that is what that Proverbs 31 mother was saying to the son. You've got to marry right. Those are the things that pervert your judgment. I said something that went viral of late. I said, if you marry right, you have a prayer partner. If you marry wrong, you have a prayer point. One thing is sure with marriage, prayer cannot depart from your life. But it's either a prayer point or a prayer partner. Choose one. You've got to marry right. And that is why this generation, you are looking at 6 packs. Nonsense. 6 packs does not pack into the future. It's better for you to marry an amusement park with purpose. Oh, I'll be speaking at the church on marriage soon. So I wrote a book of late. It's one of the books I brought, Mathematics. The formula for marrying right. This is not mathematics, so mathematics. 10 chapters. Because this generation, nobody is talking to them about to marry right. And a lot of them are married in a year, they are divorcing. In 2 years, they are fighting, breaking one another's hair. And you're wondering what is happening. Nobody taught them how to marry right. That's what this woman is doing. I tell mothers, fathers, buy mathematics and put it on your library, because one day your son, your daughter will need a book like that. They might not consult you, they need a book to consult. I wrote there, I said, young man, you better, no, it's no African lady. I don't know about Canadian lady. No African lady with 6 cars and 6 packs. And go with 6 packs. Boyo. They fell with bear me witness. Say, I have 6 packs. Somebody has 6 cars. You say, this amusement park with 6 cars is good. So better get out of the gym and go and look for work. Is anybody getting me? Marry right. You need the 2 legs of a good spouse. I've been married for over 20 years. I can't explain enough to you what a good thing that is. To have the confidence of a good wife. Let me close. I need to close. 2 Samuel chapter 11 verse 5. Chapter 11 verse 1. Oh my. One of the saddest things in the Bible is a man called Uriah. How many of you have heard of Uriah before? Good guy. Very strong fighter. One of the strong men of David. Uriah could fight. And he loved his country and loved his mentor. The first year he married was not in those days when you marry the first 1 year, you don't go to work. Yes, it's 1 year only. I wish I married you. What happened to me? 1 year, no work, no nothing. But this guy, just 1 year, he went to war. He loved his country. He was a great warrior. Unfortunately, when he was at war, the Bible said in verse 1 of 2 Samuel 11, when kings go to war, verse 2 said David was strolling on top of his roof. Nonsense. Is he not a king? Should he not be at war? What finishes when you are at the wrong place at the right time? When you are not where you are not meant to be. His mates were at war. He was strolling. I used to pastor a young man. I met him one day. I said, where are you coming from? He spoke one grammar we never forget. He said, I've been stroking around. He said, I stroked to Akpata, from Akpata, I stroked to Mokola, from Mokola, I stroked here to Lele, from here now I'm stroking to Coca-Cola. I did not correct that grammar because that's a stroke of destiny. What are you looking for? A stroke? I said, keep on stroking. David was stroking on top of his roof. When kings, I would say the time kings go to war, then he saw a fine girl. You will see nonsense when you are there. He saw a fine girl. And for us men, may God deliver us. It's our eyes that is the problem. I told them in my church, I said, do you notice that when men are crying, they cover their eyes? When women are crying, they cover their mouth. Everybody is covering what is the problem. For women is their mouth, for men is their eyes. Job 31, I think it's verse 2. Job said, I made a covenant with my eyes. Why should I think about a woman? Very important. You saw a fine girl. Can I talk to you like I talk to my men? Yeah. Don't let your erection give you direction. It lead to destruction. That's what killed him. You are pretending as if you didn't hear me. Don't let your erection give you direction. It leads to destruction. That's what finished him. And he saw the girl and said, go and call her. And that is why we pastors, we leaders, need to be careful the kind of people we put around us. I don't think I can tell my mind, go and get me that fine girl. And they won't say, Reverend, what is wrong? But they went, brought the fine girl, slept with the girl got pregnant. Shame. What will I do? What will I do? What will I do? Send for the guy. Got him drunk. But the guy, even in his own drunkenness, was still faithful. He said, I can't go home, my mates are facing bullet. I can't go home and be sleeping with my wife. He stood by the gate. Good story. When David didn't know what to do, look, I think it's verse 15. Give me verse 15. David wrote him a letter. In the letter he said, set Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle and retire from him. Message translation said, expose him. Man, without vital relationships, you are exposed. You didn't die because Uriah didn't die because the battle was strong. He didn't die because the enemy was powerful. He died because he was exposed. No mentor, no vital relationships to surround him. His wife exposed him. His mentor exposed him. Proteges, I said to myself, does that mean there was nobody Uriah sent somewhere and the boy came back and gave him a tip of $2? That we say, excuse me, sir, Colonel Uriah, when you see us moving back, you better move too. I'm not telling you anything, but just don't be fighting with all your strength. Be fighting or be looking. When we move, you better. Where I come from, they say elderly people don't run away from a cow. It's with style. Just be moving back and say, this cow, you are not enough. Is anybody getting what I'm saying? Exposure. So, what have I said today? Strength is vital to scaling walls. It's dunamis this year. It means strength, it means power. That strength God will give, but you don't give. So that woman said to the son, a prophecy that Solomon had. He said, listen, my son, don't give your strength to these things that destroy kings. Wine, women, wrong judgment. That is a product of wrong company. Did anybody get anything? In a minute, can you bow your heads and talk to God? Some of you might need a restitution, or you've not given your life to Jesus. Without Jesus, it's impossible to overcome these three. If you've not given your life to Jesus, you need to talk to him and say, Jesus, I give my life to you. If you have given your life to Jesus, maybe one way or the other, you are struggling with women, struggling with wine, struggling with wrong company. You might need to say, God, help me, give me strength. Give me grace to overcome. Give me grace to overcome. I give you praise, I give you glory. In Jesus' name we pray and everybody say, Amen.